Welcome to TEDxLabone. I'm really humbled by this opportunity to come out here and share some ideas. Now, like I asked before, how many of you have actually wanted to make an impact, wanted to make a difference in the world that you live in? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, how many Ghanaians do we have here? Okay, please keep your hands up. How many Africans do we have here? Awesome. And how many other people from around the world do we have here? Great. So we don't have any aliens here, because I see some people's hands down. This message is purely for people from this world. We will do the alien version later. So functional citizenship, what is it really about? Well, ever since childhood, from being a little boy, watching movies about great people and trying to make a difference, and still pondering till after 20 years, losing all my hair, I've been wondering about one fundamental problem. How do I make my life matter? And how do I contribute to making this world a better place? Now, I've dabbled in different areas, like they said already, in technology. And I've always wondered, from my background, how do we use technology to improve development? How do we get technology to take us to the next level? I've dabbled in social entrepreneurship, thinking that obviously it is the solution. If we're solving problems by fixing issues around us and turning them into profitable businesses, they could help. I've also jumped in areas of communication. If you teach people how to speak, how to get a voice, then you can impact change. I've dabbled in leadership. And all of these seemed like good topics to come up here and share, ideas to come up here and share. But the truth is, I have seen a lot of people in these areas make great impacts, and yet it seems like it never really gets down to the masses. And while pondering, I wondered, what is it that is the problem? What is the issue? What is the issue that makes all these people sacrifice so much, and yet the impact goes out it does not go out as far as it should? And I realized that the problem is actually something that we all know. In fact, it is so common that it's embarrassing for me to be talking about it today. It's about attitude. It's about our attitude towards life. It's about our attitude towards what we do. It's about our attitude towards everything that we take or everything that we decide to engage in. And so my topic is about citizenship, the basic fundamental thing about being in any country, state, or the world. Now, Plato says it best when he says that the city is what it is because the citizens are who they are. I believe that the dictionaries have failed us, be it Oxford, be it Cambridge, etc. Because when they define citizenship, they only define it as the privileges and the rights that you get based on being born or being naturalized into a particular geographic location. There's a second part of it that is even more important, which is your civic duty. Because remember, if we did not have soldiers who decided to go out there and protect our country, would we be sitting here free today? If we did not have leaders, would we have people taking decisions? The country enjoys the resources, the freedoms, the rights that it does only because of the citizens and what they have done. So in defining citizenship, it should be the fundamental. Now, I'd like for you to think of being a citizen as a DNA, which is like the fundamental unit, the DNA of a country. So if a country's characteristics will come from the type of DNA that it has. So depending on what type of people we are, our country is. So in that case, it's actually really funny when you hear people complain about the country being a part of the country. Now, I'll use an example like Ghana. What does it mean to be a citizen of Ghana? The next time that I meet, usually when I meet a friend on the road and I say, okay, hello, how you doing? Most of them respond, oh, Charlie, I did. Or, I did manage. Or, Charlie, we did survive. Ooh. Now, unless I'm wrong, I believe that a lot of us keep saying that Ghana is going to make it to the promised land. Ghana is going to go to first world status. Ghana is striving. Now, if we are just managing and we are just surviving, how are we going to move from the middle income status to the first world that we're craving? I'm just wondering. I hope that the next time that I ask you or ask anybody down the street how you're doing, even if you've not had kinky to chop that morning, please tell me at least today I go find food. let me see some positive reinforcement, because it doesn't matter where you are today. It's what we feel and what we decide we're going to do as citizens that will determine where Ghana will move. It's not going to come from somewhere in heaven. It's not going to drop in our laps. It's based on what we decide that we want to do. Now, by show of hands, I want to know how many of you have actually read the Ghanaian Constitution. Wow. And we understand why the country is in trouble. Article 41 of the Ghanaian Constitution starts by saying the exercise and enjoyment of rights and freedoms is inseparable from the performance of duties and obligations. And there are actually 8 or 9 duties that are set out there, and they actually pretty much give the message directly, which is why I said I'm embarrassed to even talk about this, because it's right in our Constitution. And some of these actually talk about things like national service and things like doing your job well to the best of your ability, things like taking care of your community around you. They are not charity. They are not being selfless. It's a duty of a citizen, and every Ghanaian should know that, and we should be working towards that. Now, that is being a citizen of Ghana, and you need to do it the best way that you can. Now, what does it mean to be a citizen of Africa? Part of the things that the Constitution, or the Ghanaian Constitution, Article 41, talks about is promoting your country and promoting the brand out. How many of us even go out of Africa and portray ourselves in a positive light? How many of us talk about some of the beautiful things that are within our African state? And how many of us have even traveled out of our comfort zone in Ghana? These are things that we need to think about. If the African country is going to thrive, we as a people need to understand our capabilities. I remember, I'll take a quote from Mandela. It was actually from a book Marianne Williamson wrote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. For it is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. For we ask ourselves, who are we to be beautiful, powerful, great, talented? But who are you not to be? We do not do the world any favors when we talk down about Africa, because we are the next thing. And every African should be able to confirm that, should be able to feel that, and should be doing his best to ensure that we do step out and be the next thing. So this whole entitlement attitude of we need this before we move, these people have sent us this, these people have not, it's not helping us as Africans. And that, as an African citizen, you need to be promoting that. You need to be promoting people being self-reliant. You need to be promoting people stepping out into the light. You need to be promoting people starting their own businesses. We shouldn't be waiting saying, if government has done this, if government has done that. We need to step out. And if you feel that the solutions are within government, then join government. And that's a whole new topic. Because I actually want to start advocating for everybody should do at least a year or 2 in government. I know. And then you can complain. Okay? Now, what does it mean to be a citizen of the world? Obviously, we know that the world is no longer a bordered world like it used to be. It's becoming borderless. Last time I put a post on Facebook talking about my nephew, who I call a citizen without borders, because he was born in the US. His father is Nigerian. His mother is Ghanaian, but she's resident in Togo. This boy had to, from birth, had to stop at 4 different places to finally get to his resting place in Togo. And so there's nowhere he can't go. And this is what typically citizens of the world are going to become like. Now, I spent a lot of time in Korea, and I remember that my experience drastically changed when I learned to be open-minded about their cultures and to embrace their cultures. That's when I started enjoying myself. And I realized that there are so many of us who actually sit in a plane, go to other countries, come back, and we've not actually traveled because we are so closed by the time we get in, and we are so focused on our own negative perceptions that we never take in the time to enjoy and learn from these cultures. So as functional citizens of the world, we need to actually take pains to learn about each other, because that's the only way we can actually truly reduce conflict in all these. Most conflicts are because of misrepresentations or because of perceptions that different people have. How many of you have ever had somebody walk up to you, maybe that day you didn't have money on you, and ask you for money, and when you tell them that, oh, I don't have money on me, they look at you like you're wicked, because there's absolutely no way that you could not have money on you. It's because of perception. And that same perception works against us around the world, because we do not take time to learn, we do not take time to engage, we do not take time to be open-minded. Before we even ask a question, we're closed. And so we need to learn to reach out as functional citizens of the world. Now, yes, I've come up here. I've come to talk. My mother always used to say, my son, you like to talk. Unfortunately, she's not with us anymore. But the question is, as I'm standing here talking, what's the next step? What's the way forward? You've shared the message. What are you doing about it? Me personally, every morning I try to wake up. If it's Facebook, if it's Google, whatever, put a message up, because somebody is going to see it. Remind somebody that they should be a functional citizen. Whisper it in their ears. Engage them. Share ideas. It may be 10 people. It may be 5 people. You are doing your part. I've also started setting up forums. There's this club I became a part of called Toastmasters. And through it, we try to educate people on public speaking and leadership. And what I'm trying to do is set up a lot of forums where we can engage with more people and share some of these ideas. And I know most of the people in this room right now are very capable people. Remember that a candle, when it's burning, can light 1,000 other candles if that candle stays lit. So what I'm asking you to do, like ripples, I am passing this message on to you. I hope that you'll also go home, tell your brothers, tell your sisters, tell the people around you. Don't forget your gate man, don't forget your driver, don't forget the KK seller down the street. If you have to translate it in Chi, translate it is the same message. Eyawara. And then get the message out across. That is one thing that we can do. Start reading more and start taking into account other people's perspectives. So understand what it means to be a functional citizen. Become one. Train the next functional citizen. And if you want to engage in more activities, you can see more about functional citizenship at this website and this Facebook page. Now, I'd like to end with a song. I don't know if all technical things are in sync now. I'd like for us to all please stand up and reaffirm our love for Ghana by helping me sing Yenara Assassini. Okay, so Yenara Assassini Yamo Yenimaya Mojana Nanano Mayan Edumene Wososo Yebe Yebiatraso Ibiatraso Omanu Sebeye yo Omanu Seriye yo and yes and now Omanfo bra netre Omanu Omanu and yes and now Omanfo bra netre. It's our attitude, our characters that will determine where the country goes. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Papa Akhurst. What a way to start TEDxLabone. I hope you all enjoyed it. Papa, let me ask you, you are a Toastmaster. How does this connect to, in practical life, your day-to-day living, how does it connect to functional citizenship?
Well, I'll share a little passion of mine with you. I'll share a little secret with you. One thing I've noticed that a lot of us like to do, we like to complain about different things, complain about XYZ, etc. Now, one of the things we complain about, especially those who are well-read, speak well, etc., is about the radio. People talk about, oh, I turned on the radio, I don't like what I hear, people don't speak well, people don't do this, I don't believe this person went on this platform, he spoke like that. I'm a believer in doing. I'm not a believer in just listening and complaining. So when I discovered Toastmasters, which was an avenue for people to learn how to speak better and lead better, I said, whoa, if I can imagine maybe 60, 70, 80 clubs across the country, and even if I could get 20, 30, 40 Ghanaians in each club learning to speak better, maybe if we don't achieve anything at all, our radios will be more pleasant to listen to. So this is something that drives me. And I've been to a number of organizations. I see some MESS people here. I did a workshop there. I've been to Ghana Tech. I've been to Legon and a number of other places. And we've set up one in my office in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they love it. So gradually, we will drive this change. My boss is here, so I have to be careful what I say. Yes, so that's what Toastmasters is about.
All right, thank you very much, Papa. Once again, a round of applause for our first speaker.